Hi Manoj, thank you so much for talking to us. There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot happening in US cricket right now, but we'll start with your journey first. You played cricket in India. You were a journalist in India, sports journalist in India, and then you traveled to US, and now you are head of operations in US cricket. Just let us know about your journey.
Well, thank you for inviting me to your show, uh, and thanks for interviewing me. It's been a long journey, right? It's not. It's There have been ups and downs. Downs, I would say more. And like any other immigrant, when I came to US, I didn't knew what I'll do. But if I have to start my journey, let me go back many years back, somewhere around 99, 2000, when I was in Agra, where I used to play cricket. I was born in Mumbai because my dad was in Indian Navy. So we used to travel across the country, right? So born and brought up in Mumbai, also did my schooling in Chennai, Vizag. So I got to see a lot of India. But then we were based out of Agra after the retirement. So I used to play my cricket over there. UP being a very tough state, I never got a chance to show my skill set. I thought I had a reasonable game. I had played with Praveen Kumar, Rena, Piyush Chawla. Those were probably my opposition or teammates at some point of time. And then I realized, like I was not going through the ranks, under 19, under 22s. It was very tough to get through. Then I decided to change my state to Madhya Pradesh, went to Gwalior to play the league cricket. But in the first match itself, I had a shoulder dislocation, uh, right? That too, that was the right shoulder. So at that point, I had to make a decision what I should do. So I went to Delhi to pursue my career, you can say, in advertising journalism, and I got a breakthrough to be a TV sports journalist. So I tried my hands over there, but realized like this is also not my cup of tea, and my interest lies somewhere else. And then Formula One came to India, and I would like to thank and use this platform to uh, thank Mr. Samir Kaur at JP, who showed the trust in me that I could be the national press officer for the circuit. So I worked at Buddha International Circuit, great work experience, enjoyed Formula One thoroughly. I thought motorsports was the career where I belong. And then I met MS Dhoni, at the circuit. And that's where actually my life took a 360-degree turn because once I met him, after a few months, I started working for him as his talent manager, right? So uh, that's how I got back into cricket again. And I was part of his staff, and I used to manage his accounts on sponsorship, etc. And I worked with him for 3.5 years, and it's because of him actually I came to the US for the first time in 2016 for a charitable event for army veterans that we did, right? And that's how I first came over here. To cut the long story short, that's how I moved to US because my wife is from here. I met her here, and then we decided to be based out of US. So I had to leave cricket and all my career in India and settle down in the US. So after 2016, I was actually not part of any sports events, despite having a good career in sports, motorsports, cricket. But then I knew few cricketers in the US cricket team, a few board officials who knew my experience. And when this World Cup was happening, they approached me that if I could manage their cricket operations, or get things in order because it's a new board, it's a evolving board, so they need experienced individuals. And when I saw this opportunity, I thought I can contribute and make a difference. So when I joined 3 months back, I immediately understood that lack of international games going into the World Cup was something which we have to address immediately. And that's when we decided to do the series with Canada, a five-match T20 series, and then um, with Bangladesh we decided to play a three T20 international series, and that all happened within a span of 1 to 2 months. So within a I would say 45 to 60 days time frame, we played approximately like what seven T20s, right? So that gave uh, our team a good uh, experience, right? Team match experience and environment to gel because everybody was coming from different parts. I also got to understand the boys, how the team structure is, and it's glad that things fell in our place and we decided to carry the momentum forward into the World Cup as well. So that's been my journey. If I have to summarize in few minutes, that's how I landed in US and with the US cricket team.
Yeah, Manoj, that has been quite a journey, the turn of events that you have told us your life has taken. Before moving ahead, well, you touched upon that topic. I think for a minute we need to digress and delve into that topic. You met MS Dhoni, and he sort of brought you back into cricket. And you worked with him very closely for 3 years. You said, how is MS Dhoni off the field? Because and this is something that the fans would love to know because on the field Dhoni everybody knows, but we also know that when he's off season, he's gone. You can't see him. He's not on social media. He's in his farm house somewhere in Ranchi. How is MS Dhoni as a person off the field?
He's like you and me, to be honest. Like if you are with him, you will never feel like you are with such a big star or somebody who has achieved so much in life. He still stays very humble. I had great experience working with him, and as you say, he is a man who has a golden touch. So if you are around him, you learn so many things. Your life will change for sure, right? Um, he can see the talent very clearly, uh, who is capable of what. That's one quality which I definitely admired from him. So I would say like I've never met a human being like him. Uh, he is simply wow. Amazing human being. Cricketer, of course, we all know what he has done for the country. But as a human being, amazing, amazing person.
Are you still in touch with him? Do you text him once in a while, talk about cricket or discuss something about US cricket?
I've not got the opportunity to directly talk to him
Yeah,
because as everybody knows, he doesn't keep phone, right? So it's
yeah.
very hard. But through common friends, I exchange pleasantries. I say my regards, convey my regards to him.
Yeah, yeah. And Manoj, now coming back to US cricket, as you said, there are a lot of players in the US team who started their journeys in India, played under 19s and the 16s, and then came to US. Most, somewhat similar to your story. Can you take us behind the scenes of US cricket? Not an established team, a very inexperienced team, but a very a good bunch of cricketers, talented bunch of cricketers, coming up the ranks, winning a series against Bangladesh, then a match against Pakistan in the World Cup. How do you see US cricket? You are someone who is experienced, who knows this game inside out. Potential growth of US cricket, कैसे देखते हैं आप behind the scenes US cricket?
I think a lot of people have underestimated the talent and the opportunity which US cricket possesses. World Cup is a platform which has showed what this team can do uh, in a playing style, in our approach. If you look at it, we are thorough professionals. I believe this team has immense talent to go far in the tournament, right? And not just this tournament in coming years. This team will do wonders at the international stage. It's a matter of opportunities, right? Um, when talking about the talent, yes, there are many boys in this team who have played cricket at a good level in India and their respective countries, right? If you talk about Corey Anderson, he has played some good amount of international cricket in New Zealand. So when someone like him comes into the team, the environment completely changes because he gives that balance in the middle order. You have someone like Andres House, who has played domestic cricket in South Africa. So if you look at his batting, you never can see like he's playing against a opposition like Pakistan, fearless cricket, right? So goes with someone like Monang Patel, Stephen Taylor, right? They have played good amount of cricket. They prepare themselves well. So I believe they are ready for the stage. Pakistan bowling attack, we should not underestimate. It's one of the finest bowling attacks in world cricket. So to score runs against them in a challenging situation in a World Cup match, that itself tells you that that this team has something, uh, and they can go far in world cricket.
Yeah, and Manoj, cricket is a game where victories gives you confidence. Do you think that Bangladesh series, where US won the first two matches, that is somewhere that the team got confidence that they can, rise up the ranks and beat the bigger teams? because Bangladesh is obviously is one of the most experienced teams going around, and then they came to Pakistan. Obviously, they beat Pakistan. But do you think that Bangladesh series was the turnaround when it comes to confidence?
Of course, I would agree over there because once you touch that threshold, right, that you can do this, that's when the belief starts to come in. So when you're beaten, say Bangladesh, that's when you realize, like, no, you can do something different. You can achieve this. Now you are beating Pakistan, so you get that confidence, and confidence comes with success. When you start achieving success at various levels, that's when you start getting bold and confident that you can do things.
Yeah.
So I would agree, yes, that Bangladesh series was the turning point for us, and the momentum actually changed for us from there.
Yeah, and talking about the Pakistan game, a lot of tension, super over, and a very very close game. How has the things changed in the dressing room now, and what was the atmosphere during the super over, or right after the match got ended? There were a lot of social media reaction, US players being praised on social media. Can you take us through the journey of uh, before the Pakistan game and after the Pakistan game? What has changed for all these players in the team?
It's a sigh of relief, I would say, because it was a crucial game. We were starting as an underdog. I would keep it like that. But before the game, I still remember when we were in the team bus. I don't think so anybody was under pressure. Internally, if they were feeling it, or maybe they were not showing it, that's a different story. But the environment was not like, oh, we are going to lose. That was not the approach. The approach was that we have to fight and fight it hard. That's what the approach was. And luckily, things started to fall in our place, in our plans. The first wicket came early for us, and that's where the momentum started to build for us. Despite we playing in our home ground, the support was towards Pakistan in at the stadium in Dallas because there is a huge Pakistan community. But despite that, I think things started to fall in our side. At some point, we felt, we were um, ahead of Pakistan when we were chasing, and then we had some slow overs, and that's when Pakistan pulled the game, right? And then few good shots from our middle order brought us back into the game. So throughout, I think somebody who was in the center was feeling the pressure. Of course, the dugout was fully tensed. What's going to happen because there were so many ups and downs in the game.
Yeah,
But then I believe they held their nerves. The team, stuck to their plan and also
yeah,
played the basic cricket. What they were supposed to do, and
yeah.
that's what I think uh, they were able to achieve. By executing that plan.
Yeah. The word on Saurabh Netravalkar, he has been the talk of town after that super over. The fact that he juggles between his job and then plays for the US cricket team. Many of these boys, obviously, they work for work in different jobs also, and then come and play for US cricket, and especially in this World Cup, the kind of cricket they have been playing. How is the atmosphere behind the scenes for these players, who have a different life also, a proper job also, and then they come out here and play the kind of cricket that they play?
In US, the lifestyle is very different. We don't get to play cricket 7 days a week. Monday to Friday we are working. We are trying to get a bills paid, and Saturday, Sunday is when we play cricket. Someone like Saurabh, he's a software engineer at Oracle. So you can imagine the kind of work pressure he has at a senior level, as a senior software engineer. So I was listening to him, and he told me that in the last 4 5 years, how he has been able to stick to cricket. Monday to Friday, working, Friday evenings, going to the nets, or traveling to Los Angeles where the turf wicket is, to play for one of the clubs, which have better players. So that's how his journey has been. Driving from San Francisco to Los Angeles, which is roughly like 5 to 6 hours on the road, doing that every week over a period of 3 to 4 years, is definitely commendable what he has done and what he has achieved. So stories like that, that's just one example. But if you look at Munang Patel, he's between, like we make fun of him, he doesn't have a home in US. He travels between, some days he's in Dallas, some days he's in New York with his relatives, just to ensure that he's getting the correct match practice, right? Similarly, other team members as well, they all have same stories. Uh, First, they were part of Division Three. Then they moved to Division Two. Then they qualified for T20 World Cup as a host nation. So they have risen up to the ranks, but over a period of time. It's not just like they were given the opportunity just like that.
Yeah,
So they have, I would say, slogged hard to achieve
yeah.
the success which
Yeah.
they duly deserve.
Yeah. Manoj, the main aim of this T20 World Cup is that to kind of grow cricket into America. You live in America. You live amongst Americans. How do you think this World Cup is now seeping into the US cricket base? You see people around you, Americans, not just NRIs, but Americans, Native Americans. Are they talking about cricket, and especially after this US win against Pakistan? I saw on social media that there are certain publications, taking their attention towards cricket now that US has beaten Pakistan. How are things changing in that front?
I think there's a lot of interest, especially after our last win, right? The videos that we have been seeing right now, Times Square playing our final super over, right? Americans watching it, Americans. If you look at it, America is a country of immigrants, right? So, but there is a section of Americans who don't know anything about cricket. So it's very hard to tell them, what cricket is. But with all the news channels, TV stations showing our victory, something what we have done is remarkable. Definitely they are looking into it. They are getting to know the sport. ICC has done a great job of bringing World Cup to the US, having it in the center of America in New York is unbelievable. Nassau County over there, it's a big population, not just NRIs but local Americans. So they are getting to know the scale of the event. Same goes with Dallas and Florida. So people are realizing it, and I hope things change for us. Um, I would say like we still have to understand cricket is not going to be number one sport in America in the near term future. It cannot become number one sport right now because NFL, basketball, all these sports are way ahead in America in terms of uh, playing at school levels, college levels, and in terms of professional leagues. There is a lot of hard work and I think we need to give time to US to accept the sport as a professional sport. But yeah, events like Cricket World Cup is going to, um, I would say, benefit the cause or goal to achieve where we want to be. So people are
Yeah.
getting interested now. Second generation Indians, third generation immigrants from Indian subcontinent countries. Uh, they will definitely pursue the sport because I believe what was happening is uh, the first generation they pursued the sport when they came here to work, right? But then over a period of time when they got married, they had family, the kids or the grandkids, they never pursued the sport despite we having so much of population. So with this I think things will change. Many kids will start taking the sport and hopefully they can make a career out of it.
Yeah. And Manoj, US plays India next. How excited is all of the whole team? Because as we discussed that they played for India at one point of time under 16s, under 19s, then they moved to US, and now they'll be playing, against their native country, the likes of Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, Jasprit Bumrah. How's the excitement in the team?
No, we are excited. India is such a strong team. To just to play against them is a different feeling. So let's see. Fingers crossed. Um, it'll depend like on that day. I know like uh, the chances that they have probably is on their side. But let's see how we perform. Fingers
Yeah,
crossed.
and finally, how do you see the future? As you discussed in detail about that, will not be the number one sport for a long time in America because NFL being there, and slowly people taking up cricket. But what are the things that US cricket and the team sort of needs to do to grow that market base in this country? More bilaterals, more World Cup, participations. According, you are someone who has in-depth knowledge of the game. As a journalist, you have an experience, you have played the game. So what does US cricket and US cricket team needs to do to seep into the US market for a long period of time now?
Um, I think it will be. I would say like starting from the facilities.
Yeah.
More cricket academies, more turf pitches, then good stadiums, good cricket stadiums to host bilateral events, ICC events. All of that needs to happen. But at the grassroots level, I would say kids need to take the sport because that's where the talent comes from. So you need to have cricket nurseries, right? In cities where the Indian population is pretty large, you have cricket academies over there. But again, we don't want to restrict the sport just for Indian subcontinent immigrants, right? We want the sport to be diversified. We want everybody or most of Americans to know at least the sport, what it is, and then also see it as an opportunity, as a career opportunity, and then pursue the sport. So for that, if you have access to club cricket, right? If you have access to cricket academies, that's when you can go and hit the balls, right? And that's when you can know like whether you have the talent or not. And then a professional cricket structure as well, so that you can go to the ranks, you know how to play for the country, right? And then if you're having more international events like World Cup, maybe Champions Trophy at some given point, of course, US Cricket is planning to host many bilateral and tri-series events in the near-term future. That will also add interest, but it has to be a detailed plan which has to be executed at various levels, so that we can grow the sport. ICC has been kind enough to provide the necessary support, and uh, by giving us the opportunity to host Cricket World Cup in US is definitely a dream. Something which we require to popularize the sport in the country and grow the sport in the country.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Manoj, for talking to us. And you have had an inspiring journey, the way you narrated your career and also the boys in the team, the kind of journey that they have had. And wishing you all the best for this World Cup and also all the cricket that lays ahead for the US cricket team. Thank you so much and have a nice day.
Thank you so much. Thanks for inviting me.